Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of the City Council to order. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Councilmember Carr.
Here.
Councilmember Panduro.
Here.
Councilmember Santu.
Here.
Councilmember Tonneson.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Vice Mayor Bertani.
Here.
And Mayor Vaccaro.
Here.
Thank you.
The invocation will be provided by Youth Pastor Elliot Urbina of Liberty Church.
Good evening. It's an honor to be here, and it's not a cliche. It's an honor to be up here. And today I want to begin with a prayer, and it's a prayer that Jesus taught his disciples, and it's a prayer that if you grew up in Catholic school or Catholic church, it was taught. If you grew up in Christian school or in a Christian church, it has also been taught. And it begins like this. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth, in Fairfield, and in Solano County, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Councilmember Tonneson, can you lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we turn now to council reports. Councilwoman Williams, we'll begin with you.
Thank you, Mayor. And by the way, I want to thank you for bringing peace to the dais. It's been a great few weeks. Thank you. I want to briefly address a growing problem of cyberbullying, doxing, cyberstalking, and online harassment. Public officials should expect questions, criticism, and disagreement. Those are part of public service and our democratic process. However, targeted harassment, threats, stalking, publishing private information, and using artificial intelligence, AI, to create racist or dehumanizing images are not legitimate
You're out of line, okay? Let her speak.
political discourse. In recent months, I have been personally experienced online harassment involving anonymous accounts, fake profiles, false information, digitally manipulated images intended to demean, intimidate, and silence me. I have documented activity, about 56 incidents. There's 56. My color printer ran out.
Okay, last warning, I'll have you removed, okay? Thank you.
This last one was especially nasty. It's a picture of a dead body with fire on the top. So I have documented this activity. filed a police report, and requested guidance from our police chief and city attorney. I am also working to convene a community panel on cyberbullying, doxing, and harassment. The discussion will help residents recognize online abuse, preserve evidence, protect their personal information, report credible threats, and locate appropriate legal, law enforcement, and mental health resources. In fact, October is National Bullying Month. So Wednesday, October 14th, I will be holding a live webinar because October 14th is National Stop the Bullying Day. So if you would like to participate, be a panelist, join me on my city council website, kpatriceforfairfield.com/stopbullying. My goal is not to silence anyone's voice. My goal is to make sure people understand that online harassment can cause real harm and victims are not alone. Fairfield must remain a community where people can disagree without threatening, intimidating, and dehumanizing one another. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Williams. Councilman Tonneson.
Thank you, Mayor. We've had a busy couple of weeks. First, congratulations to Archer's Den. It's a new business that opened up downtown. They had the ribbon cutting on July 3rd. It was a great event, very well intended, and we all got to shoot bows and arrows, and it was actually pretty cool. We also had our quarterly downtown business meeting, business owners meeting at Eventive, another new business that's downtown. It was very well attended and a great opportunity to hear about everything happening in our downtown. There's a lot of positive momentum, and it's exciting to see. I also had the opportunity to another ribbon cutting at Sweet Home and Heart, a new premium assisted living care home located in the Wood Creek area. It's a neighborhood home, a tract home. It's beautiful and clean and welcoming environment. If you have loved ones who need assistance with living services, I encourage you to look them up online. That's Sweet Home and Heart. We also had our annual Taste of Downtown. There was 12 restaurants that participated, and it was completely sold out. I think this is the third or fourth year in a row that it's been sold out. So we'll be doing it again next year. So if you get a chance, there's a lot of new energy downtown. So in the past weekend, I attended 2 back-to-school events. The first was at Bethel Church, where volunteers provided shoes, socks, backpacks, haircuts, eye exams, and much more for local families. It was wonderful to see and the smiling kids and grateful parents. Later that morning, I attended Mount Calvary Baptist Church, and theirs was a backpack giveaway. And if you've ever been there and you know where Enterprise Drive is at, the line of cars stretch halfway down the street. The energy of the volunteers was contagious, and I want to give a special shout out to Tony Adams, who was leading the effort. And yes, they did put me to work, and I loved every minute of it. I also just want to talk more about our downtown. I've been talking about that quite a bit lately. It's been really transforming. And if you haven't been down there lately, I encourage you to visit. The transformation over these last several years has been remarkable. There's new businesses, restaurants are very busy, events are drawing people in, and we even have community policing back. And that has made a lot of the merchants very happy down there. And then finally, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to end on, kind of want to talk to Councilman Sandu on this one, on Markley Lane. I'd like to see if we have to form a subcommittee or this, it's just something I want to touch on. I'm not asking for a subcommittee or any special meetings, but I'd simply like to take a hard look and review if there are capital improvements where we could adjust or reprioritize and determine whether there's a realistic opportunity to move that project forward sooner. If we find a path, we can bring it back to council for discussion, but the residents of Markley Lane have been waiting a long time. I know we've had several meetings over this, but I think they deserve a more serious look at whether we can accelerate that timeline, if that would be something you'd be up to, Manveer? Okay, and that's all for me. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Carr?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank everybody for being here. Weather's getting nice towards the evenings. We have that Octopark around the soccer fields in my district, a nice little walk path. I see some people using it. I'd love to see it get used more so we can expand it a little bit. I've been spending a lot of time riding my bike around the neighborhood and talking to a lot of my neighbors. Some of them are in here now, and for the most part, I just want to say everybody seems to be pretty pleased with all the stuff that's been going on lately. I got a lot of positive feedback from the neighborhood and some of my neighbors. And I just love my town, love Fairfield, and we attend a lot of the same things, so I don't need to repeat a lot, and that's all I got. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pandora?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. So if you've driven down North Texas, I don't know if you've seen, so we have a new community center popping up. So it's the Robbie Berger Rec Center. So there is a brand new playground that looks so fun. I cannot wait, maybe not to get on it, but to be able to take pictures in front of it and see all the kids playing on it. And there is a new sign, so you can actually drive by and see the actual name. It's a beautiful bright green color. So I was very excited to see that and to see the progress that it's been being made on it daily. And it looks like a ribbon cutting for that will be in the fall. So just keep an eye out for that. So super excited because it's not only going to be a community space, it's also going to be a first 5, so a 0 to 5 early education center for all of our residents. So it's very, very excited to look forward to that opening. I adopted, as part of our Adopt a Street program, I adopted a part of North Texas, and so I do host and hold monthly cleanups, and so I held another one this month, and it was really fun. It's fun to pick up trash. If you haven't tried it, you should join one of our cleanups. It feels good to get out there and make our streets look beautiful. And you find some interesting things sometimes, so that's always you get to see what kind of treasures you get to find. I also stopped by the Sneakers for Success that was held by the Fairfield Community Services Foundation. And so I'm just going to go down. I know Scott mentioned all the amazing services that were being provided. And so I'm just going to go down the list and just kind of give the numbers. So 242 youth received free brand new athletic shoes, 51 free professional haircuts, 88 vision screenings, and 225 families received groceries and fresh produce. So that right there is what I call community. It is a collaboration between a lot of our different departments. So fire was there, PD was there, a lot of other staff, community volunteers. We had some amazing sponsors. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone that made that day possible. The first day of school is coming up for many of the students that are specifically in FSUSD. So summer's almost over. And so with that, we do have other resource fairs going on. So we do have one on this coming Saturday the 8th, the annual Back to School Resource Fair held by the FSUSD. And it's going to be over at St. Mark's at that 600 Union from 9:30 to 12:30. And again, show up, get a backpack, get resources. There's ice screenings, and just maybe meet some new folks. And that is all, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Vice Mayor Bertani?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening. It's a full house here in the chamber, and that always makes for a better meeting because this is your meeting. So thank you for taking the time to show up today. I will not repeat all of the backpack giveaways that were just announced. So, feel free to partake in all of those resources. I will just wish each and every student of our Travis Unified School District and our Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District a happy new school year, which starts on August the 12th. It's next week. So summer has come to an end, time to go back to school, and I just wish everybody a successful, safe, and productive year. That's it, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Sandu?
Thanks, Mayor. One quick thing, just wanted to give PD a shout out. National Night Out's coming up, and they did a really cool post highlighting that event for the community. If you haven't seen it yet, take a look at it. It's a pretty good laugh, and I just want to thank all of the police officers and staff and folks who helped put that together, because I personally had a really good time watching that, and I'm looking forward to being there. So just wanted to say thank you for doing that.
Okay. Thank you. And before I read a statement here, it is great to see everybody here at the council again, and also the Taste of Downtown was great. Councilman Tonneson mentioned that earlier. What I'm about to say, I know that my colleagues here support this statement, so here it goes. Fairfield City Council supports the right of individuals to exercise their First Amendment rights to speak on topics that are the business of the Fairfield City Council. However, as mayor, I feel it is important to let our wider community know that while First Amendment rights give great protection to speakers on a variety of topics, the use of public comment to spew hate-filled rhetoric or conspiracy theories against any person or group of people based on their race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, or any other protected class is abhorrent to the culture of exclusivity and diversity that make our community a wonderful place to live. So, while individuals will always have the right to speak on matters protected by the First Amendment, as mayor, I will likewise exercise my right under the First Amendment to speak out against the rhetoric of hate and fear. And that's all I have to say. Thank you. Mr. City Manager, your report.
No report this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
I don't have a report either, thank you.
Okay, we're going to move to presentations. Madam Clerk?
Yes, first presentation, Valley Strong Business Etiquette Gauntlet Scholarship Presentation to the Police Activities League. And I believe Michelle Prenez, Field Marketer, and Ryan Court, Senior Business Banking Officer of Valley Strong, are going to be, oh, no. Okay, I was told they were going to be doing the presentation.
I'll announce them.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen on the City Council, we have the opportunity tonight to recognize 3 outstanding teens, 2 from Valley Strong through our business etiquette course out at the Police Activities League, and then 1 also through LS Power, an intern at PAL. So I'd like to just describe a little bit of what these folks have done throughout the summer, and then we'll get to the presentations. So the Summer Etiquette Business Challenge, outclass your competition is the goal. It's Fairfield PAL's free business etiquette program for teens. It helps PAL members build practical skills for job interviews, professional settings, networking, and everyday communication. Participants competed for scholarships awarded by Valley Strong. It was to be 1 scholarship, but we'll get to that later. Throughout the program, classes began in the spring, they went through the summer, and they worked on making professional introductions, starting and maintaining conversations, table manners, dining etiquette, interviewing, professional communication, asking for help appropriately, all good things, even responding to uncomfortable situations and following directions and solving problems. Then, on July 27th, the top competitors participated in a 9-station business etiquette gauntlet, each one being hosted by a local professional. And I'd just like to shout out to Andy Ramirez with the Matt Garcia Foundation, Michelle Prenez with Valley Strong, Ryan Court, also with Valley Strong, Ilea Martin with the Fairfield Police Department, Chris Matthews, North Bay Health and Fairfield Sassoon Rotary Club, Vince Webster, Fairfield Fire Department retired, and the Matt Garcia Foundation, Lieutenant Reed from Fairfield PD, Fabe Pereira from Fairfield PD, Dan Mitchell with Fairfield Sassoon Unified, and Bonita Knuckles with the Fairfield Sassoon Rotary Club. So they go through these 9 stations, persuading a difficult customer service representative to help solve an unusually high bill, or responding professionally when instructions were unclear. They handled the moment when they forgot someone's name during a professional meeting, and they demonstrated communication, problem-solving, confidence, and composure. So good stuff, bright futures ahead. So thanks to Valley Strong, the top scoring participant is to receive a $1,500 scholarship. However, there was such good competition, so much skill in the competition that they added a second participant also for $1,500. So I'd like to introduce Michelle Prenez, field marketer from Valley Strong, to present those awards.
Hi there. First and foremost, we had a blast at this event. Valley Strong was Really happy to be invited by PAL to be a part of it. My counterpart, Ryan, and I had a great time interacting with all of the participants, and we were honored to present the scholarships. And like I said, like was said, we had one scholarship, but because everybody did such a great job, especially these two participants, we decided to add a second scholarship. Every participant brought something really special to the competition, but there were two that really stood out. Alex and Alana truly came prepared for the gauntlet. They impressed us with their positive attitudes, their professionalism, confidence, and determination. It's clear that both of them will have bright futures ahead and will be true change makers in the community. Their dedication, character, and commitment to excellence set them apart. And we have no doubt that they'll continue to make a positive impact wherever life takes them. So on behalf of Valley Strong, it's our pleasure to present these scholarship awards to Alex and Alana. Congratulations on this well-deserved scholarship, and this is a big achievement. You should be very, very proud of yourselves.
And the second presentation, LS Power Summer Internship Scholarship presentation to the Police Activities League once again.
Okay, so I'd like to talk to you a little bit about a very special person to PAL, Fairfield, and I'll talk about what was accomplished over the summer. So Fairfield PAL's Career Cafe, it gives teens a practical and engaging way to explore careers and prepare for the workplace. The program is designed to make career exploration approachable, interactive, and connected to real professionals. There's a lot of opportunities involved, internships, job shadowing, one-on-one mentorship with local professionals, career exploration activities and workshops, and hands-on skill building, among other things. With the Creative Career Cafe, it uses fun, informal experiences to help teens feel comfortable asking professionals their honest questions. An example of one of the programs is Hot Ones, which gives PAL members a chance to interview local professionals while everyone works their way through increasingly hot wings. So you can see how that goes, right? And then there's Pathways and Pastries, which pairs teens with professionals for one-on-one conversations about their career journeys, daily responsibilities, education, challenges, and advice. And that all helps break down those barriers and give teens an inside look at the careers that they may want to be a part of someday. Skills and certifications are a part of this program. CPR and first aid, food handler certification, typing certificates, workplace safety training, professional communication, and job-related skills, among other things. So this summer, one person really stepped up, and he's known for saying things like, "What else can I do? Do you need any more help?" His responsibilities throughout the summer included assisting with the summer breakfast and lunch programs, supports activities and service at the coffee house, cleaning and resetting program spaces, so a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and helping staff with other tasks needed throughout the day. So LS Power would like to recognize Israel for the $1,500 internship award.
Where's he going? Yeah, I know.
Okay, our next presentation, Sister City Exchange Program, presentation by Assistant to the City Manager, Liz Aptekar.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, and community members. Since 1971, Fairfield has proudly partnered with our sister city, Nagasaki, Japan. Inspired by President Eisenhower after World War II, the Sister City program was created to build lasting friendships and promote peace through person-to-person connections. Since 1989, Fairfield has both sent and hosted student ambassadors, with only a brief pause during the COVID pandemic. These exchanges continue to change lives, broaden perspectives, and help develop our next generation of global leaders. Tonight, we're joined by the delegation right up front here, who traveled to Nagasaki this summer. We'd also like to recognize and thank our adult chaperone, Deborah San Juan, who's also here, for her dedication to this year's delegation. Jake, in the back, thanks for starting up the video to start playing. Thank you so much. And at this time, Ambassador Ryan Lee will come up to share a few reflections from the trip this summer. Thank you.
Konbanwa, watashi wa Ryan Lee desu. Good evening, my name is Ryan Lee, and this past July, I had the wonderful opportunity to be a student ambassador for the city of Fairfield on our sister city exchange trip to Nagasaki, Japan. Before our exchange, each of us made an opening speech in Japanese, a little longer than the one I just gave, that we would later use to introduce ourselves to the city of Nagasaki. While none of us were perfect, this gave our group an early glimpse into Japanese culture and helped show the people of Nagasaki that we were eager to learn. Being a student ambassador in Nagasaki was a truly unforgettable experience. Immersing myself in a new culture helped broaden my worldview and gave me so many fond memories. I made such meaningful connections with my host family, my fellow ambassadors, and our chaperones. I'd like to thank my fellow ambassadors, Sophia, King, Chloe, Drew, and Deborah, for making this experience so special. Nagasaki and the many memories we made together will always hold a special place in my heart. One of my favorite experiences was visiting Nagasaki City Amari Elementary School. Even through the language barrier, we were able to bond with the other students through shared activities, food, and jokes. As we were leaving the school and all the students were cheering us on, I was like, that was really a heartwarming sight and a really unforgettable experience. Another highlight was spending time with my host's family. I felt truly embraced in the household, and I felt like living with them gave me such a good glimpse into a new culture and lifestyle. We also just went on a bunch of random activities and which we learned about lots of cool things like making hoto noodles, which are a special type of flat noodle soup unique to the Yamanashi district of Japan. I'd like to take a moment to thank the generous individuals and businesses whose donations helped make this experience possible. I'd also like to thank our mayor, city council, city staff, host families, and volunteers whose work helped make this program and many other amazing programs a reality. Once again, I'm so grateful to have had this opportunity, and I can't wait for the Nagasaki exchange students to arrive in Fairfield this winter and get a little taste of our hometown. I hope that over the years, we can continue to build this strong friendship between Fairfield and Nagasaki. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for sharing your memories and representing the delegation so well. If I could remind everyone, while our summer ambassadors have returned home with unforgettable experiences, Ryan just said, the next season of our Sister City program is already beginning. This winter, Fairfield will have the privilege of welcoming students from Nagasaki. We are currently seeking 2 additional host families for the exchange, taking place November 28 through December 11. If you're interested in opening your home and experiencing another culture firsthand, We highly recommend applying by visiting the Fairfield Sister City website. These exchanges are made possible through the generosity of our community. Thank you to our City Council, city staff, volunteers, host families, donors, and our partners at the Police Activities League for investing in our youth and this remarkable 55-year relationship. Now, ambassadors, as your names are called, please come forward to receive your certificates and join the council for a group photo. Drew Davenport. Chloe Lamb. Ryan Lee. Sophia Velasco. King Josiah Watson. And last but not least, our chaperone, Deborah San Juan. Oh, wait, do we go? Yeah, okay. Right in front of them. Yep. And then Ina will come up. Okay, all right. Bigger smiles. Say Narasaki. You can't say Fairfield or Narasaki without smiling. All right, congratulations to our 2026 student ambassadors.
Okay. And now, presentation 4, the 4th of July Parade Awards presented by Parks and Recreation Program Coordinator Juan Segura.
Hello. Good evening, City Council, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, City Manager, and members of our community. It is my pleasure to be here this evening as we celebrate the winners of our 2026 America 250 Independence Day Parade. And also the arch unveiling, which was amazing. Thank you, Liz, for your hard work. Before we recognize this year's award recipients, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who helped with this year's parade. The event like this could not happen without everybody, an incredible team that I have behind. On behalf of the Parks and Recreation Department, I'd like to extend our sincere appreciation to the partners in the Fairfield Fire Department, Police Department, Public Works, Marketing and Outreach Division, and our Parks and Recreation staff. Your dedication, professionalism, and countless hours of work helped create a memorable celebration for our community. Thanks for everything that you do. This year's theme was America 250, inspire participants to celebrate the traditions, hobbies, and activities that have brought families and communities together through our nation's history. The creativity, enthusiasm, and pride displayed by every participant made this year's parade one to remember. We're excited to welcome 61 parade entries with more than 1,200 participants and approximately 105 vehicles. Making their way through downtown Fairfield, it was wonderful to see so many community organizations, businesses, schools, and residents come together to celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary. I'd also like to thank everyone who came out to cheer on the parade. Seeing thousands of people lining the streets and celebrating together, it's what makes this event so special and one that I like to put up. This year's entries were evaluated by a panel of 3 volunteer judges. Each category winner will receive a $150 award and a sweepstakes award presented to the highest score entry in the entire parade. they will receive a $250 award. On behalf of the City of Fairfield, congratulations to all of our winners. Thank you for your creativity, your community spirit, and for helping make 2026 America's 250 Independence Day Parade an unforgettable celebration. And now it's my honor to recognize this year's parade award winners. For Best Theme, C4 Ranch. For Best Band, B Sharp Academy.
Thank you.
Our commercial, Chapkiss Dance Academy. Our equestrian, Rancho El Centenario. Our float, Jesus House Solana. Our military, the American Armory Museum. How about that tank? Our novelty, Filipino American community. Our vehicle, Jelly Belly. And he brought gifts for everyone. Our walk-in Blue Lotus Elite.
Ready? Come on, don't be scared. You're cheerleaders. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, girls. And our sweepstakes with the highest score was Guru Nanak Sikh Temple. Thank you all. We look forward to seeing you at the annual Fairfield Tomato and Vine Festival happening August 15 and 16 in downtown Fairfield. We have a great music lineup. Bring your chairs. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Thank you.
Okay, I can accept it on behalf of the temple.
Of course.
I am a member. My guru. Thank you. No picture, I'm not dressed appropriately for church.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll now turn to, Madam Clerk, we'll turn to public comments.
Yes, public comments. Persons wishing to address the city council on subjects not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of the council may do so at this time. The council cannot discuss or take action on matters not on the agenda for the meeting, but council members may briefly respond to statements made or questions raised by the public, ask for clarification from staff, refer the matter to staff, request staff to report back to the council at a subsequent meeting, or place the matter on a future agenda. If you're online to speak on an agenda item, please use the raise your hand feature or press *9 on your phone. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes per item as determined by the mayor. And our first speaker is Ryan Misano, to be followed by Dave Harrison.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and citizens and city employees. I want to commend those who have opposed the California Forever movement. It was corrupt, and it's unfortunate that there are some of you up there who supported a very corrupt movement. And some of your wives actually took money from it. So I wanted to talk about the hate speech. So first of all, what are the origins of hate speech that we heard Mayor Vaccaro just talk about? It started in Bolshevik Russia, Mayor Vaccaro, where 40 million Russians were murdered because if they were deemed as having hate speech, then they were stuck in concentration camps and they were put to death. That's the kind of agenda that you're promoting right now. So it was interesting because I ended my speech last week with, I said, the Pharisees control our money and our media, and they tried to silence Jesus, who was telling the truth, and they used violence against him. Not an hour after I was done speaking, Mr. Harrison charges up here to say that my speech should be silenced and condemned, and that violence was going to be used if my speech was allowed. And the mayor, shockingly, agreed with that. Now, why would a public official agree with violence against an American citizen who has different opinions than you, Mayor? Why would you do that? Because that's the kind of thing, that governmental overreach that resulted in tens of millions of people being killed under communism. It's a shocking and a shameful thing that you did, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself. So we also have to talk about Washington said if freedom of speech is taken away from us, then dumb and silent we may be led as sheep to the slaughter. That was the founder of this country that we just celebrated the 250th anniversary just a month ago. And yet we have all of this celebration of all this modern stuff, and yet we can't figure out the letter and spirit of the laws that were created. We're a lot different from the founders of this country, and the founders right now would be accused by Mayor Vaccaro of hate speech for saying the exact same thing that I said. Madison, Jefferson, Washington, they would all say the exact same thing.
You have 30 seconds.
So, online, Gab is like free speech, although all social media is totally controlled now and encourage people to get off as fast as possible. But it was the only free speech platform. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, or you're basically brainwashed, I'm sorry to say it. But the only free speech platform, not one person on there actually supported the actions of this council. Not a single one.
Your time's up.
Next is Dave Harrison, to be followed by Adeline Piazza.
Mr. Mayor, City Council members, City staff, Dave Harrison, District 3. First, I want to commend you, Mr. Mayor, for your words during council reports. And also, I want to recognize the Councilmember Williams' report and condemn those that are attacking her. I want to thank all of you for your public service. Folks don't know that this isn't a full-time paid job, but in many cases it's a full-time duties, and I want to thank every one of you for that. Last meeting I started off with talking about the First Amendment and that allows every single one of us to come up here and speak and say the things we're saying, but it doesn't allow us to say whatever we want without consequence. And when you say certain things, it comes with consequence, and the comments I made about violence was not from me or from anyone here, but to protect the previous speaker from folks that may retaliate for the words that he's saying. My words for him were exactly that. And since he brought my name up, I would just like to invite the community to YouTube Mr. Massano and the videos of him being thrown out of city council meetings, cities like Sacramento, city like Vallejo, and actually arrested for some of the stuff that he's doing. He's trying to bring to the city of Fairfield, and I don't think we deserve it, and I don't think any of us should stand up for it. That's enough about that. Measure P. Measure P is coming. I think the city desperately needs it. We can see some of the benefits that we've all enjoyed from the current Measure P, and I think voting for the new version of Measure P is going to be a success, and I encourage everyone to vote yes on Measure P when it comes up. And I also want to just share a couple of kind words about Mission Samoa. My wife volunteers with the mission every Wednesday during their food drive. They do a lot of great work for the community. I know they're on the agenda later on, but I did want to just share some good words, some good positive words, and what Mission Samoa does for the city of Fairfield. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Next is Adeline Piazza, to be followed by Adrian Lacielo.
Hi, my name is Adeline, and I'm a cadet in Girl Scout Troop 20067, working on my Junior Bronze Award beautification project. Thank you for letting me talk to you about putting garbage cans in our community. I've talked to Corey Beavers of Public Works, and I've run to David Gasaway. I'd like to thank them for taking their time to help get trash cans put in Vintage Green Valley Park. I'd also like to thank Public Services and Parks and Recreation for also helping. Thank you for your time.
Okay, sorry, I'm being interrupted here. Adrian Lacielo, and to be followed by Patrick Williams.
Oh yeah, she's tall. You said what? Oh, okay.
You're a little taller than the last
Mm-hmm.
speaker.
Oh, it's good, it's good. Thank you. Hello. Good evening. My name is Adrian Lacielo. I was here at our last city council meeting, and it's an honor to be back. I'm here to let you know about an exciting event that we have coming to the Downtown Theater. So on August 15th, we're presenting Adrian's Draguation Homecoming. This is our third annual Adrian's Draguation event. It started back in 2022 as I was graduating from Los Angeles Harbor College, transferring to UC Irvine on a full ride scholarship. I wanted to do something to celebrate that moment and give back to the community that got me to that place. As I was a child in community theater, I was receiving scholarships, and into community college, I received scholarships as well, and into university on that full ride. And so this year, we are expanding our mission of giving back. We're launching the Draguation Scholarship Fund, which will give cash aid directly to students who are pursuing higher education, along with our raffles that we do. We have received so much support from our businesses and different organizations within this community that also believe in our mission. And we raise funds and give back to programs like the Missouri Street Youth Theater, the Downtown Theater Foundation of the Arts, as well as American Canyon High School Theater Arts. And these are all programs, like I said, near and dear to my heart. And I encourage all of you to join us. Please join us August 15th at the Downtown Theater. You can get your tickets at the Downtown Theater's box office at downtowntheater.com. And you can also find out more information about Adrian's Draguation and the amazing cast of performers that we have from San Francisco to Sacramento and everywhere in between. And you can learn all about that at www.antonioxadrian.com. That's Antonio, the letter X, ADRIENNE.com. And I would love to see you all there, and I thank you so much for your time.
Next is Patrick Williams, to be followed by Gian McDougald.
How you doing?
So Kate Patrice Williams was endorsed by the Vallejo Police Officers Association in 2020 after a badge bending incident. After the badge bending, that's when they would bend pieces of their badge after they killed somebody. She was endorsed by them. And now she's pretending that she cares about Maurice Williams' family. She doesn't care. I'm sorry, she's using you. Look somewhere else. Look somewhere else. She does not care. She's also got that little hit list, putting out people's personal information, their full legal names, people they associate with, their addresses, the vehicles they drive, and it goes on, and she made that public. That's putting people in danger, not because they're saying some fake BS like she does, because they're calling her out on things that she's doing wrong to the public. She's doing people wrong. 100%, she is doing people wrong. She did a fake quote war in tow when you got two people up here that might not even live within Fairfield. Okay, you said that it's about the rules and rules must apply evenly to everyone. What about for you? What about for Sandahu, who possibly has an apartment in San Francisco? Excuse me? But suddenly you did it just against one person who you don't agree with on California Forever? That's a little suspicious. That's a little suspicious, I gotta say. All right? Other thing, your wife got money from California Forever. So they got rid of the last mayor, they didn't go to you, they put you in, and you're pro-California Forever? Yeah, you telling me that's not suspicious? She don't care about black people, she's using black people. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. I've had many people that used to work with her and she tried to work with, coming to me, telling me some inside stuff about how she was trying to get people to work for her for free and not paying them. So they refused to work for her. Right? Then there's also a community building event. She was trying to encourage people to not come, and she was basically making veiled threats against black politicians who would have come through to help build the community. She was threatening them. You think she actually cares? She don't give a damn. And it's not about anti-bullying. She's one of the biggest bullies up here. She's one of the biggest bullies up here. What politician puts out slandering post about
30
people?
seconds.
I'm speaking, thank you. Puts out slandering posts with false information about people, trying to create a false narrative because you don't like getting called out. And you know, I do make nasty pictures of you. That's legal. That's protected by the First Amendment. And as far as a dead body burning, that was not me. I don't know what you're even coming up with. That's probably fake BS. Oh, you also associate with someone who made threats against the public, Joe Joyce Jr. He's the vice mayor's brother in Sassoon. And
your time's up,
threatened
sir. Sir, your time's
publicly.
up. Your time's up. Thank you.
Threats,
Mr. Williams, thank you.
Investigator out following me around saying that it was paid
Mr.
for.
Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, you can say whatever you want about me. Leave my family out of it. No. You're what I said. Leave my family out of it. Oh, you're really courageous, aren't you? I told you to leave my family out of it. Okay,
Next is Gian McDougald.
Oh, you could lower this. I know I look tall. I am tall. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Some of the most favorite people in the world are in this community and up here on this dais. I am just appalled at what our city has started to devolve to. And it's not about the city itself, it's about individuals. What this community is about was about those kids earlier who were receiving the awards. That's what it's about. It's about these beautiful children. And you know what? They're watching us. They're watching us. They're watching those people who come and perpetuate lies and dissension. They're watching us. We've got to stop this bullshit. We've got to stop it. Excuse me. Oh, I hope my my aunt is not watching. She's like 94. But anyway, I wanted to commend the city on the CDBG survey. And one of the things that the community needs survey asked is, what are the things that you're most concerned about? And I think some of the top ratings were housing, jobs, infrastructure, and senior citizens. And for those people who want to just like divert the whole conversation, the bullies who want to divert the conversation to something that our community has said are not as important to them, let's just be real. My council representative has addressed housing. She has provided housing for women who are victims of human trafficking. She's provided housing for people who are disenfranchised. She's provided jobs. And our council has provided addressed the needs for infrastructure. One of the things that I really must address is that it just really seems quite peculiar to me that the bullies will attack women and people of color, and first of all, you don't even live here in the city, and attack them, and then attack the mayor's wife and so forth. We've got to stop it. This is not what we are about. This is not Fairfield. This is not Fairfield. We've got to come together and create something for our children, create a future for them. We've got to set an example of kindness and civility. We don't always have to agree. But we've got to be kind, and we've got to be honest and have integrity. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for what you do. I don't always agree with everyone up here, but I want to thank you because I know your heart is in this work. Thank you.
Next is Michael Jefferson, to be followed by Ramel Stevenson.
Good evening. Fortunately back again because Kay Patrice Williams publicly shared a Google sheet her team maintains called the KPW FCC Social Media Watch List. In it, a critic posting under the name, I'm not going to say it, is unmasked by his real name. That's doxing. You committed a crime. Doxing is the public disclosure of private identifying information, Penal Code 65.3.2. Electronic communication used to harass by publishing real name, city, vehicle, or profiles of a critic. This is something that's straight out of the Eastern Bloc. You want to talk about communism, you want to talk about hate speech, whatever you want to call it. It's quite literally the control of speech, and you utilize people as shields. Last speaker talked about the children. Don't pay attention, don't pull down the curtain, don't look at what's going on behind the curtain. Oh, look, we got to do it for the children. But guess what? You've done unmistakable damage to Fairfield, Kay Patrice Williams. You have done so much wrong to the city of Fairfield. Guess what? I first became acquainted with you because I got asked to help with Vista Ridge, because you voted on something that gave your best friends in the homeless industrial complex millions of dollars. You know, there's a case out in LA right now that's doing the same exact thing that happened with Vista Ridge, where they sold for a crazy amount higher than it was appraised, and it was absolute corruption. They're looking at that. Guess what? It follows the same exact trend as what happened with you. And you want to know why? Because you have a vested interest, because you yourself have nonprofits within the homeless industrial complex. This is just unmistakable impropriety. And that's how I got to know you, Ms. Kay Patrice. And when I told you to remove the post where the docs list is present, that wasn't me demanding anything of you. That was me helping you, to tell you that this is an active crime. You have committed a crime, quite literally, through doxing. And the document herself and openly stated that her team tracks and archives critics. It is the construction of a public dossier. It's not oversight. It is the control of free speech and the destruction of anyone who dares to disobey you, Kay Patrice Williams. That is an affront to the First Amendment right. That is an affront to every principle of American democracy anywhere in this world. What you're doing is an affront to everything that we stand for and hold sacred. To be able to criticize is not something that is just affront to you. It is something that you need to respect. You have a position that you have to respect anyone who disagrees with you, regardless. And the reason why I helped Kat Moy is exclusively because she was going after, being sought after you by your thugs that go after her, stalk her, go after her, tell her that she doesn't live here, when the intent and the action made it 100% clear. And you won't tell the world that she was exonerated. Kat Moy was absolutely exonerated by that because it shows she could still fulfill her duty as mayor. So we had a coup by another name brought about by you. So you've witnessed destruction of untold measures to the Fairfield by millions for Vista Ridge through the coup of Kat Moy and through California Forever. Thank you.
Ramel Stevenson, to be followed by Ruthie Fisher.
Sir, I warned you once before. One more time, it will be removed.
Hey, y'all. My name is Ramel Stevenson, and I'm here today on behalf of my nephew, Maurice Williams, and my family. For a while, we were deeply worried about Maurice. What happened to him affected him in ways that many people never get to see. The physical incidents was one thing, but the emotional impact that followed was something our family had to walk through together. Today, I'm grateful to say that Maurice is now doing better. He still has a long road ahead, but we are hopeful. We believe that hope comes from love of his family, the support of his community, and the people who refuse to give up on him. But not every child has those same supports. That is why I'm asking you today, not just to respond to Maurice's case, but to create change for every young person who finds themselves in a moment of crisis. We continue to seek accountability, including the decertification and termination of Officer Camacho Brown. At the same time, we recognize that true healing is bigger than one individual. Real healing comes through systemic change that protects children before another family has to stand where we are standing today. People may continue to debate whether the initial takedown was justified, but what has stayed with my family is what happened after Maurice was already in the ground and in handcuffs. That is what continues to concern us. That is what many families in our community fear. I respectfully ask that this council to agendize a discussion about policies governing the restraint and takedown of children and youth. We need policies that prioritize de-escalation, trauma-informed responses, and accountability when force is used against minors. At the last meeting, I heard that funding was allocated toward the work. I appreciate that step, but I want to ask for one thing. Please include the voices of the families and young people who have lived through these experiences. Disenfranchised parents and youth should have a seat at the table when these policies are being developed. We are not just stakeholders. We are experts in what these experiences do to our children. Let's not wait for the next Maurice. Let's build a system where emotional intelligence, compassion, and accountability are just as important as authority. Thank you. And on behalf of my brother-in-law, Rick Vaccaro, I guess you're the acting mayor, he was really offended, and this continues to be a thing with us. I get that there's like a legal thing, but he's seen that you have responded to somebody, and then when he had asked you a question, you didn't respond. And that goes a long way. You know, the way Wilbur Williams.
Maurice's dad, he's not here today.
Yeah, Murray's dad. He was here last week. And maybe just going forward, like just a gentle nudge, if we could somehow, just like just now, you were able to respond. Like maybe when you see hurt, pain, confusion, maybe be able to speak to that. Thank you.
Time's up. Okay.
She Ruthie.
I'm Ruthie. I'm the grandmother. No, I was just going to speak on what he had said because my son did mention that he emailed you and he didn't get no response. He's a man of few words, and communication goes a long ways. Communication saves lives, and all we asking is to communicate. We're not asking to sit down and have tea and crumpets with us, with the family. We just want a simple, I got your email, we working on it. You know, it may not have to come from you, but communicate, you know, because Maurice Williams is somebody, and we are too, and we just want some answers. Even if you don't have the answer right now, let us know that you are working on it. You know, that's all. You know, we're not here to holler, we're not here to hoop, we're not here to point fingers or nothing. We just want justice for Maurice Williams. And if he was your child, you would want the same thing. And I know y'all can do it. I know y'all have a heart because of the way that y'all handled the Baker's family, the Baker situation. You have a heart. So please let that heart grow a little bit more for Maurice Williams.
I just want to add, y'all have a heart and y'all also got privilege, and we're asking you to use your privilege to try to find some type of way to maybe put this on the agenda to whatever y'all capacity. Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Ruthie Fisher, to be followed by Richard Ellison.
And Mr. Mayor, just a comment, a reminder, I don't think you were the mayor when I made this previous comment. When the family of the young man is here, because they've hired counsel, under state bar rules, I'm not allowed to have any communications with them. So out of respect to the fact that they have representation, I recuse myself from the room just to make sure I don't have any inadvertent communications with them, because they do have a lawyer, so.
Next is Richard Ellison, to be followed by Bara Fisher. Is there a Richard Ellison? Oh, here we come. Thank you, sir.
I want to thank the City Council for, Fairfield City Council, for taking time to just hear all of us, including myself. And I just want to call attention to the importance of the First Amendment, which protects all of our rights. The First Amendment protected all of our, and continues to protect all of our rights, which was ratified in 1791. And our forefathers saw fit to do this because they did not want to be in the way of trying to be dogmatic in approaching religion, speech, and the press, as well as rights to peaceable assembly and petitioning the government. Most countries do not allow the people to petition the government, not to mention all the other rights that we do have. And we can thank those forefathers that we had. And also, just remember, I call them the greatest Americans. They were all the ones that fought in the Second War. They had to stop what they were doing and submit their lives to protecting our country, our rights, everything. And not to mention, they knew they were protecting other countries as well. And the First Amendment rights are primarily some of the ones that they were fighting for, the rights for everybody. And I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to stand before you and before the people that are here, because just reminding you about this right that our forefathers made sure that we all have. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Next is Bara Fisher, to be followed by Chris Deleski.
Hello. I'm here. I live on Capitola Way. I've been in Fairfield for a long time. And I'm concerned there is a soccer field down the road, which is great. I love it when the kids play, but there's a speeding problem. And my neighbors and I have approached various law enforcement and various, the mayor before, and some traffic control people about putting in stop signs. we pick up dead cats, dead turkeys, dead dogs, people fly. And I just retired from 30 years of Kaiser as a trauma nurse, so that's my main worry, is kids getting killed. When I first moved to my house on Capitola Way, I lived up on Vista Grande. So I've lived on Capitola Way for since 2012, and I'm very concerned. I'm really concerned about the kids. No kid, you don't see any children walking to school anymore. K.I. Jones is right up the street. You don't see them walking. You don't see them riding bikes because it's really dangerous. So I'm pleading to see if we can put some stop signs in. They have put in the signs before that shows how fast people go. They ignore them. But people are going 50 miles an hour down that street, and they use it as a they turn from Oliver, they go up Wood Creek, then Capitola Way, and up to Waterman. So it's a pass through. So it used to be, we've gone through, this is an aside, we've gone through several mailmen. One of the reasons is because we weren't getting mail on Saturdays when it was soccer season, because there was so much traffic. They even told me that they were afraid for their lives to get out. And the other day, which was the first, I guess it was a tournament, and I worked nights for 30 years, so I was asleep during the day when most of it was going on. Big fight outside on Capitola Way because they were, joggling for parking spaces. And it's dangerous. I'm just worried about the kids, and I don't know who else to talk to. I talked to somebody at the city, I called, and all our neighbors have called over the years, and somebody called me back and suggested that I come to this. Never been able to attend one because, again, I worked nights for a long time. But anyway, I'm just pleading with you to see if there's something you can do about the horrible traffic on Capitola Way and the speeding, and could we put in some stop signs? So,
Next is Chris Deleski, to be followed by John Oliver.
Thank you, Ann, for volunteering me here. Doug Carr, we'd love to talk to you. You're in our... Mr. Gasway, you've seen some of my emails a couple of years ago that I was sending to the traffic manager. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it is a freeway on Capitola Way, even sometimes worse on Wood Creek. I walk my dog there twice a day, and every day I just get frustrated at the speed at which people drive. It's not just that street. It's Oliver too. I almost got hit this morning on Oliver. I pushed the button, walked across the street. This guy screeched to a stop because he wasn't paying attention. We need to change those lights to those big ones they have down over here on Clay. That would be really nice. I've seen, at least in the past 2 years, 3 cars go through the fence at the Octo soccer fields. And one night I was driving home with my kids, and there was a guy up on the sidewalk with his van halfway over there looking around trying to get out. WO lines, great, 2 weeks. Everybody else started speeding again. I've been passed numerous times driving the speed limit, and it's really bad. I've asked to put in speed humps. I was told that Fairfield does not do that because it is a hazard for the emergency vehicles. Yeah, okay, I could argue that. Speed humps would be better because emergency vehicles can go through them. I think that's something we should all look at, and that's about it. Mr. Carr, I'd love to talk to you about that. We can hang out together someday and watch the traffic. Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you.
Next is John Oliver. Can you pass that down?
Good evening.
Rick.
I'm not a city council guy. Started coming here about 6 months ago when the LLMD scenario was coming up. In that time, I've dealt with my backyard fence going down. I've dealt with the Vista Ridge scenario, sprinkler leaks, pine needles out of galore. I've talked to Miss Bertani probably 25 times. Miss Moy, equally. Mr. Gasway, apologies for all of our short emails, speaking to you a bunch too. Even Mr. Sandu called me, and I'm not nowhere near his district. So I have a question about my own person that wants to continually take things out of the public and into private meetings, doesn't answer emails, is letting other people in the district answer questions. And now, when I ask simple questions about why aren't the pine needles being picked up, I thought we figured this out. What about the water leak? The person does not even respond. Mr. Carr, why are you ignoring your constituents? And why do you have to have a meeting with the mayor and the city manager to simply get pine needles picked up?
I believe that our meeting has a lot more to do with just pine needles from all the emails that you got. I think we can solve your problems better in person with the people that need to be there to take care of it. That's how I work.
So nothing we can do one-on-one. We have to bring in all these people to get pine needles
Sir,
picked up.
you asked for these people in that email. You saved
No,
emails.
once
and
you
could
said
show
you
it.
wanted them in the meeting, I said, sure, bring them. I asked you to answer questions first. Great. We'll see you next week.
Okay, I have 2 hands raised online. Did anyone in the room want to comment on public comment? Anyone that didn't fill out a card? Okay. Jake, go ahead and bring the first person online.
Guest 17072, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Go ahead. I know, he was just repeating their phone number, but I'm going to ask them to repeat their name when they get on the line. They didn't.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Could you
Good
repeat
evening,
your
everyone.
name, please?
I don't really have to state my name, but I will. It's Lisa Murphy.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. It's really sad that I have to be here tonight to talk about these issues, but the city of Fairfield is at a tipping point with upcoming elections this year. The poor performance of several members of the city council has caused a serious lack of trust to surface within our community and for Fairfield to be embarrassed in the region. Elected officials should expect to be questioned and criticized regarding policy decisions. The Vista Ridge debacle is a recent example of failure where the legitimate concerns of residents, business owners, and some firefighters were completely ignored. Vista Ridge illuminated that 4 council members, who were later joined by a 5th one, consistently worked together to ignore constituents' concerns and to vote in lockstep. That is very interesting, to say the least. One council member in particular, K. Patrice Williams, chose to dox residents despite California Penal Code 653.2 and the California Civil Code 1708.89, known as the Doxing Victims Recourse Act. Doxing may also implicate First Amendment protections, and when carried out by a government official, it may raise 14th Amendment concerns. A quick review of case law revealed that a city may also be liable for the actions of a council member in this area. The dynamics of this council are troubling to watch. Its members have shown poor judgment as policymakers, appear to be ill-prepared by the responsibilities of the role, and have become somewhat of a liability to residents and business owners. Some voters view endorsements from certain organizations as evidence of qualification, but endorsements do not prove that a candidate can serve effectively, ethically, or with integrity. Often, they reflect money and influence more than merit. In district elections, such endorsements carry even less weight because it is unlikely that many endorsing organization members live in the candidate's district. Although the City Council is intended to be nonpartisan, this council's conduct suggests otherwise, as reflected in the political maneuvering involving other Solano County city councils and the County Board of Supervisors. This is shameful. They appear to believe they can act with impunity while trying to silence those who question their words and actions. If any of the 5 council members believe they can intimidate Fairfield residents and business owners or rely on proxies to do so, they are gravely mistaken. First Amendment remains strong, and elected officials should expect continued questioning and scrutiny. Acting with impunity does not last forever.
Your
Thank
time's
you.
up, ma'am. Thanks.
Jake, can you bring the second person online? Thank you.
1954, guess? You have 3 minutes.
Go ahead. Hello?
We can hear you.
They don't seem to be on.
Jake, is the person there? We can barely hear you.
They're there, but they're not talking.
Oh, okay. We'll move on then. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to turn to the consent calendar. Madam Clerk?
Yes, consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are to be approved with one motion unless a member of the City Council or the public requests that separate action be taken on a specific item. And I do have 2 speaker cards for item K5.
Okay.
So should we pull that first?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll read the description. K5, Resolution 2026-172, Second Amendment to the Development Loan Agreement with 212 East Tabor, Fairfield, EAH, LLC, and amending Home and Local Housing Trust fund allocations for the Tabor Commons Affordable Housing Project, approving the Second Amendment of the Development Loan Agreement with 212 East Tabor, Fairfield, EAH, LLC, increasing affordable housing fee credits by $800,000 and amending Home the Local Housing Trust Fund allocations for the Tabor Commons Affordable Housing Project. And our presenter is Latanya Terrones, Housing Project Manager.
All right, thank you. Are there any specific questions about this resolution? Yeah, or, yeah, if there's a, yeah. We can
Have the speakers. Okay, Monica Brown first, to be followed by Nicole Gordillo.
Yeah. So, Monica Brown, Board of Supervisors, and all we wanted to do was to let you know what happened today at the board meeting. And so this gentleman came and spoke. We voted to approve the money for the Board of Supervisors, which is, close to what, $500,000 and stuff, provided you guys vote to approve K.5, because we have to make sure that the money gets spent properly. And what I mean by that is that there's a time constraint to it. So I just wanted to come, bring us together to let you know, because my job tomorrow is to send the email saying, oh, yes, they did vote, or no, they didn't. So please make it a yes. So anyway, and I'll introduce this gentleman. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Bryce Lockard. I'm the project manager for this project for Tabor Commons, which is in Councilmember Panduro's district. I've been working closely with Latanya and Latan on this project, and we are, assuming we are approval on this consent item tonight, we are full steam ahead to start construction in February for 67 units of affordable housing.
So I just wanted to put some pressure on you, okay? Make sure you vote yes. We know we need to do this, we need to make it, and we are happy to always partner with you guys and to partner with our folks that can make sure that it happens. So thank you. I know you know everything too, but I just wanted to bring that forward so that everybody's aware of that. We are working with the city and the county together to make sure that we have affordable housing for our folks.
Thank you.
Are we good? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and our next speaker is Nicole Gordillo.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and staff. My name is Nicole Gordillo. I'm a field representative with the North Coast State Carpenters Union at Local 180, which covers Solano County. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I'm here regarding the Tabor Commons affordable housing and ask, will the developer use a responsible contractor that provides meaningful labor compliance, apprenticeship opportunities, that are state accredited and health care for workers and their families. This is very important so the members of our community are not mistreated or exploited. It's important that strong labor standards are implemented in this project so bad actors won't be let in. When strong labor standards are abused, they not only hurt workers, but they create unsafe job sites and even wage theft. We have seen it time and time again. Please ensure that this project will be built responsibly by the contractor and that includes labor standards. For the record, we're not against affordable housing. We're actually the most supportive union for affordable housing. Privilege wage is not enough. Thank you.
Did anyone else wish to speak on this item? Okay.
Okay, we're going to take this separate then. Yeah. So do I have a motion for K5?
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Vice Mayor Bertani, seconded by Councilman Sandu. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion passes. So now we'll go to the rest of the consent calendar. Okay, so I have a
Yes.
motion.
So moved.
Wait, I was just going to double check that we didn't have any.
Okay, go ahead.
Did anyone want to speak on the rest of the consent calendar? I don't have any cards. Okay, there's two hands raised, but there were two hands raised before, and it hasn't changed when the two. So, city manager
He's
will
gonna
check
check
on
real
that.
quick,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. Otherwise, I don't have any speaker cards.
Okay. We have one motion. Let's wait for a second. You said?
Doug second.
Okay, all right. David? Okay, so motion made by Councilman Sandu, seconded by Councilman Carr. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? None? Okay. Motion passes, so we'll go to item 1.1, new business.
Yes, new business. L1, Resolutions 2026-175 and 2026-176, Fairfield City Council in support of measures P and Q. Resolutions 2026-175, supporting Measure P to extend the city's transactions and use tax and increase by 1% the local transaction and use tax from 1% to 2% until ended by voters, which will be submitted to the voters of the city at the general municipal election to be held on November 3rd, 2026. Resolution 2026-176, supporting Measure Q to change the office of city clerk from elected to an appointed position, which will be submitted to the the voters of the city at the general municipal election to be held on November 3rd, 2026. And our presenter is Farbode Peruzman, Assistant City Manager and HR Director.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of the City Council. So this item is before you with staff's recommendation to adopt resolutions 2026-175 and 2026-176 in support of both measures P and Q. It's staff asking for the legislative body to support both those measures. This in no way changes the measures, changes the ballot language or anything about the outcome of the vote. The voters will make a decision on both these ballot measures on November 3rd. As our wonderful city clerk read both measures, I'm not going to belabor the point on what both measures are, but we do ask for your yes vote on the resolutions, and I'm here to answer any specific questions you may have.
Any questions?
No, Mayor.
Councilman Carr?
No, sir.
Okay, so we have a motion?
Actually, do you have any public comment, Mrs.
Sorry,
Mayor?
I'm sorry.
I don't have any public.
No public.
Did anyone else wish to speak on this matter? I don't have any speaker cards. No hands raised online, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion? Okay, moved by Councilman Carr. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman
Mr. Mayor,
Coniston.
sorry, again, can we just clarify the motion is to pass both resolutions? It can be done with one motion.
Yes, that was my intent.
Okay. Second by Councilman Tonneson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Motion passes. Okay, so now we're going to go to item L2.
Yes, our final item, L2, Resolution 2026-156, Golf Volunteer Program, approving a volunteer program for city golf courses and adopting volunteer service benefit policy. And our presenter is our city manager, David Gassaway.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. I'm not usually up here presenting, but here I am tonight as Park and Rec Director Christina Kaunzinger, who's been leading this item, is out of the office this week. So the item before you is a return of the item that you had a discussion on and provided some direction on July 7th regarding the Golf Volunteer Program. And so away I go. The council's direction on July 7th was to come back with a policy that implements what the GAB recommendation, the Golf Advisory Board recommendation was. There was good, robust discussion from the City Council that evening, and that's what we're back with in front of you tonight. Resolution 2026-156 identifies that and then also has an exhibit that would be attached to it that essentially puts in place that policy. So I'll just do a quick overview of what's in that policy and then look for your guidance. So what do the volunteers do? Well, first of all, they are really a face and customer service at our two wonderful golf courses. So they do the starting and marshaling services at both of the courses, so they're really like ambassadors, providing that great customer service, volunteering their time, ensuring good etiquette on the course, picking up litter where they can, and filling divots, really doing some of that course beautification, as well as one of the most critical things on any golf course is doing their best to ensure that pace of play is maintained. Nothing kills the ability of a golf course to have players come back again and again and again than slow play. So that's one of the critical functions that they help to serve. Generally speaking, in the policy before you, qualifications for the volunteers would match the same qualifications that we have for a lot of our other volunteer programs here in the city. They must be 18 years old. They must just fill out an application, have a valid driver's license since they are driving the golf carts, and then we do a fingerprint background check on them as well. So much of your discussion on July 7th was really related to the benefits then that those volunteers get in exchange for volunteering so much of their time to make our golf courses operate very nicely. So what you all decided at that July 7th meeting was in line with the GAB's recommendation. For every 1 5-hour shift that a volunteer works, they would get 1 complimentary round of golf. They would be able to rent a golf cart for $5. They would get 50% discount on their food when they work on shift. And then for merchandise, it would be the cost of that merchandise plus 15% for their own personal use. In terms of those benefits, particularly for the free golf, there are some new parameters that you discussed putting in place. Those are up here on the screen. I'm not going to go through all of them, but essentially just some limitations on the times in which that can be played, either Monday through Thursday or when most rounds are played at the golf courses Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In terms of how this would roll out and operate, there would be some joint responsibility between the city, our staff members in Park and Recreation under one of our volunteer coordinators or program coordinators, and Kemper jointly. Essentially, that would be to recruit and interview, train, address any performance issues that we may see in any volunteer marshals. I know talking with some of the marshal group, on occasion there are volunteers that may not necessarily meet the mark of what the expectations are, and so we would sort of pick that up with Kemper being the one's sort of primary eyes on the folks that are volunteering there. And then we would be hosting and holding joint meetings with volunteers at some frequency throughout the year to ensure that we're communicating and making sure that the program's working and operating as should. Very specifically, the city, as mentioned on the requirements for the volunteers, we would manage all of that on our side. We would make sure that we're covering any liability and workers' compensation for the volunteers, and in the off chance that somebody were injured, we would ensure that everybody meets any mandatory trainings that we might have for any of our volunteer groups, and then we would be helping to coordinate with volunteers with Kemper on maintaining schedule and assigning volunteers for the shifts that Kemper identifies. Which gets us into what Kemper would do. They would be setting that schedule and identifying what number of volunteers they need on any sort of given day, standard day over at the golf course. That's a pretty routine number of volunteers that they might need. And then, of course, if there are events like golf tournaments where they need more, then they would identify that ahead of time so that we then could work with volunteers to fill those slots. They would need to communicate anything to us, any changes. They'll have that general oversight while those volunteers are on shift. They'll maintain the records, and really importantly, then they're also going to be tracking all of the rounds played and reporting back to us that the folks are meeting those volunteer requirements in terms of the shifts and tracking that golf. That is something that I give credit to, was Touchstone, and then they were acquired by Kemper. And as we started diving in on this, I know that they have been working under their scheduling and point of sale system to really produce much better data and then presenting that back to staff and to the GAB. And then for the volunteers, they would just need to ensure that they're keeping their information up to date and identify those availabilities, report about 10 minutes before a shift starts, and then, of course, remain in good standing, which essentially means, don't get arrested or lose your license. So for the most part, that's the primary responsibility. There's one correction that I do want to make. And I apologize to you, City Council, for a little bit of an error. At your July 7th meeting, in the flow of the conversation, there was some conversation that I believe Mr. Collins, who I don't see here tonight, got up and said that at the GAB meeting in, I believe, May, part of the recommendation from GAB was to maintain 30 volunteers or up to 30 volunteers at each of the two courses, Rancho Solano and Paradise Valley, and that there would be essentially a lead volunteer that would be reporting, scheduling, and sort of coordination with the city. That is not shown in these documents, but from an operational perspective, that's certainly something that we agree with. So my apologies for not having that specifically in the staff report or identified in that document. But that is certainly an intent. But one point of clarification on that, in terms of identifying how many volunteers and what those shifts are, that is something that we are going to look to Kemper to do as the professional golf operator that you all hired, hired Touchstone, and that they were then acquired by Kemper. And that is their responsibility to operate the golf courses as efficiently as possible. So we'll look for them to identify those needs for us. With that concludes the presentation. Happy to take any questions.
Before the council, do we have any speakers?
Yes, Chris Peterson.
Mr. Mayor, if it's all right with you, maybe I'll sit back down in my normal spot, or, yeah, okay, thank you.
Good evening, council. And I believe that Ron Collins did send an email, I think, to the mayor and to the vice mayor, basically saying, why are we having this meeting? The direction that I was here at the meeting and I spoke, the direction from the council was to meet with the Golf Advisory Board. That didn't happen. Basically, what was just presented to you was pretty much the same presentation that the city made regarding benefits that they made last time when the city said, no, we agree more with the Golf Advisory Board. One of the major benefits that was talked about was you could play as long as you were playing with a paying customer. And that was one of the recommendations that the Golf Advisory Board made, and the city council said that sounds like a good idea. Well, that's not in there. It's now basically what we can do is we can't plan at all, can't play in any of the groups. What we can do is go in the morning, put our name on a list, and if there's an opening, we can go play. That's all we're allowed to do. And that is not what the Golf Advisory Board recommended. That is not the standard. And it's very frustrating that, and again, I should probably address what Mr. Collins said, and he is with his family, so he apologizes for not being here. And he said, basically, we were supposed to have a meeting. with the Golf Advisory Board and see if we could have some sort of a win-win situation, and that just didn't take place. It's very frustrating for the city to have ignored the Golf Advisory Board and then made another presentation as if the Golf Advisory Board was involved. They were not. And so I know we want to get this show on the road, so to speak. We want to get this resolved, but it needs to be resolved in the way that the city council had directed with the Golf Advisory Board. And I can't remember, one of the council members said, hey, we have a Golf Advisory Board because they're the experts. And then the city ignores them and doesn't meet with them and then brings this back, which is not consistent with what the Golf Advisory Board's recommendation was. It's very frustrating, and so that's what we think should happen. Meet with the Golf Advisory Board. Maybe Mr. Collins, who was the director of Parks and Rec, and get some input and reach a resolution to all these things. That's a win-win. That's a win-win. Thanks.
Do you have another speaker?
No. Did anyone else wish to speak?
I have is there anybody here from the Golf Advisory Board? Oh, Dennis, you want to comment on that at all? Sorry to put you in a spot, but.
Good evening. I was not at the July 7th meeting. However, I've watched the video at least 7 times. At no point did council direct the city to go specifically back to the Golf Advisory Board. I did contact the city to see if there was any involvement needed from the advisory board prior to this meeting. The city had everything that they needed to move forward, which I agreed with. At the July 7th meeting, City Manager Gasway specifically said, we have direction. We couldn't make the second meeting in July, but we'll target the first meeting in August, which is exactly what they've done. Mr. Peterson is correct in the sense that the Golf Advisory Board did say you can play with a paying member. That is correct. That was presented at the last meeting. It was up on the screen at the last meeting. The Golf Advisory Board actually struggled with that, specifically because at one point we were like, hey, the volunteers shouldn't have an added benefit versus Kemper employees. Technically, that is an added benefit. So the board actually kind of wrestled with that. But at one point in the meeting, we did say that, yes, they could play with a paying member. And I know a number of you at the last meeting spoke about golf. I think, Mr. Carr, you had said you played a lot before you were injured. Part of the love of playing golf is playing with your friends. So in that respect, Mr. Peterson makes a good point.
My question is, so, Mr. Peterson, but what happened before, I just want to clarify this, okay? So, and Mr. Burchell, you're here too. So, if there are 3 people on the tee, right, and it's an opening with paying customers, can a marshal play? Yeah. Okay. I guess, I don't.
But we have to show up that morning, put our.
Yeah, come on, go on.
We have to show up that morning, put our name on a list, and maybe go get to play. As like I say, Councilmember Carr and others, golf isn't just about swinging a golf club. It's about the opportunity to play. I understand that we shouldn't be making tee times, particularly at prime times. I understand that. But there is a happy medium, maybe 2 days before, say, okay, go ahead and look at the tee sheet. The public's had the opportunity now to make all these tee times. Now you can go ahead and play at this time and you can plan. Because just getting up at 6:30 in the morning, which is when we start our shifts, to sign up and hope you can go to play with some group of people you don't know, frankly, you're going to lose the marshals. If that's the only thing we get, I'm sorry, that's just being realistic. So.
And comments from council? Oh, James? No, I just want to see if you had, anybody have any questions for Mr. Burchell?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Councilman Tonneson.
Come out from behind the wall. What is the, for your workers, the employees, explain, is it different than what the golf volunteers the times they can play?
James Birchall, Vice President of Operations for Kemper Sports. Thank you, Mr. Thompson, for asking the question. Through this process of doing the analysis of the amount of play that the golf courses, I'm going to get to the answer here, but through the process, we've realized how popular, we know the golf courses were popular, but didn't realize the usage of not only the volunteers, but of our employees. And we were hired to efficiently manage your facilities, your golf courses, to be as profitable as they can so that they can be self-sustaining. And the number of rounds that are being played, and we encourage it, don't get me wrong, by our employees and volunteers, was pretty high, higher than normal. And so we have implemented a new policy and procedure for our employees just recently now because we feel we need to be more responsible for the revenue streams that come in on the golf courses. So as of this month, we had a staff meeting. Jake, our general manager, had a meeting with the golf staff and the employees and started implementing a standby only operation for our employees. We still want them to play. That's part of the benefit of working in golf, why I actually many years ago started working in golf, because I wanted to play. But we have a responsibility to you and the city to financially manage it correctly. I even polled a number of our other facilities and some that have the highest demand like yours in our organization and out. And I will be honest, it is different across the board at all facilities, but for the ones with the highest demand, unfortunately, they have the most restrictions because those are the ones that will drive revenue and help your facilities be better. But we're not trying to eliminate it. It just has to be controlled and be fair. And so if someone wants to play, they can check the day before, they can call, they can go online at any point in time and see what's available for tee times. They don't have to come first thing in the morning. They can check that morning. It's out there. The data is out there for the public and everyone else to see. Our professional recommendation is that we allow the public to book those times so that we can get the revenue first. It's what we need for the golf courses to be successful. And it's a change a little bit for employees, but it is what's necessary to drive the proper revenue. We want volunteers through this program. We think they're going to be very valuable to, again, being the ambassadors, but we have to have some more control. So I'm sorry it was a long answer, but I wanted to make sure I got our point across.
No, that was fine. So that's a recent change. Yeah, I mean, and what did, don't leave it, what did we approved it like this, like it is, right?
Yeah, from the presentation on the 7th that the council discussed and then directed us to come back with the policy. And sorry, I don't have it to show on the screen right now, but what was highlighted, if you'll remember, there was the table that had sort of the three. There was the Kemper Sports employee benefit, there was the Golf Advisory Board recommended volunteer benefit, and then there was the City of Fairfield recommended volunteer benefit. Under complimentary golf eligibility, it was 1 free round of golf for every 1 shift worked, parentheses 5 hours. Under cart fee discount, $5 flat rate. Under discount food, it was 50% discount while on shift. And then benefit redemption, standby/daily wait list, first come, first serve, Monday to Thursday, no time restrictions, Friday, Saturday, Sunday after 2 p.m. And then allowed to play with a paying golfer who has an advanced reservation. And so I think that's where, that's the primary difference here in what is being identified. Sorry, I'm changing screens here. Under the Exhibit A that's before you in your packet, it says benefit redemption Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, and after 2 p.m. on Friday through Sunday. And then there's an asterisk, no volunteer tee time reservations may be made in advance. The ability to play golf is based on available tee times on the day of play, standby only, wait list. And so I think that's the sort of the critical difference there. And I think that was also why the council on July 7th said, bring it back to us for adoption as opposed to implementation. So if there's anything here that the council wants to see changed, we're happy to make those changes and bring that back to you. I think in conversations with Kemper, as you just heard from Mr. Birchall, they're looking to really implement what the intent has been of the city council for a couple years now, which is to try to maximize revenue at the golf courses so that we can get to some of the deferred maintenance and some of those items. But in terms of those volunteers being able to play with an outing or an organized group, then if that's something the council wants to make a change on, I know Kemper will implement that, and that ultimately is a policy decision up to you all.
Any other comments? Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
At the July 7th meeting, I think that Mr. Collins stated that the GAB recommendation also includes 30 marshals per course, and you said that that was inadvertently left out of the staff report that's before us right now.
Correct.
So is it possible to amend the staff report, or how would we memorialize that as being part of what we're approving tonight?
We can either amend the policy and bring that back with it, formally in the policy that's the Exhibit A in the staff report. I know city attorneys don't usually like this. You could, with your motion, make that amendment, and then administratively we'll add that in to the policy if you like, just for efficiency purposes. But no need to comment on that.
And I just say that because, it's important to create a complete factual record that reflects all of the facts in our documentation. So unless there is some reason that for time's sake, we shouldn't go for an amended staff report, is time of the essence here? Or?
The only time of the essence is that Touchstone is trying to wind down the Touchstone Foundation, and they'd given us September as sort of a deadline to get that done. But being here the first meeting in August, if you want us to amend and bring that back, we can do that. One point of clarification, though, that I do want to make. I know Mr. Collins had spoken on the meeting on the 7th, and then again in the email that he had sent the mayor and vice mayor on this. He again reiterated that the GAB recommendation included up to 30 volunteers. I went back on the website under the Golf Advisory Board. There's draft meeting minutes from their May 28th meeting. And the final motion of the GAB does not include the 30 volunteers or and scheduling, right? So it has a point person at each course to work with the city on scheduling, but it did not mention the 30. I think what's being referred to is that Chair Spiller, in the course of the conversation, right? I mean, you all know how sometimes as you get into policy discussions, there's discussion that may not show up in that final recommendation. And so Chair Spiller said that, he would recommend that there be up to 30 volunteers at each of the courses, but that wasn't in the end really the motion made and approved by the GAP. But again, if that's something that the city council wants to do and you want to see us to bring that back as an amended, we will do that.
Okay. Well, so it sounded like from my recollection, we were looking to basically go with the GAB recommendation. So, So as close as the actual factual record can document that, I think that would be good for future reference, et cetera. I mean, it only makes sense it's not a contractual issue, but it kind of is a controlling document.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So that would be and then you mentioned one more thing, the one scheduler per course, working with the head pro? Is that right? Was that a part of the Golf Advisory Board recommendation as well?
It just says volunteer point person at each course to work with city on scheduling.
Okay. And that's in the information that's before us now pretty much?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So that would just be my recommendation, is that whatever we finalize, it is finalized in writing as well. Thank you.
Okay, so then I saw a couple of thumbs and some nods. I want to always like to confirm. Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Does that mean bring it back or do it tonight?
That's what I'm looking for. Do you want to make the recommendation and have it reflect when it's done that we add the 30 volunteers per course, or do you want to bring it back again? Happy to do that, physically amended so you see the 30 in the document. And I think the Vice Mayor is advocating for bringing it back.
For physical amendment.
Yeah.
For the posterity, for the record, for future reference.
Okay.
Versus just you guys making the change. So you would make the change, you would bring it back to us, and we would see that it's changed.
Correct.
So it would be in consent.
I would recommend it go on consent at that point.
Okay, do I have a second then?
We didn't.
Huh?
You're going to bring it.
Pam made the motion, yeah. You have a second? Second by Councilman Tonneson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. We have no other business for this council. Next city council meeting is on August 18th, 2026. Thank you.